Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance. I know it's Tuesday. Guess what? Guess who's in the building? It's me, Constance, and I got a special guest. Well, I got my co-host today. She about to come on here in a minute, but before she comes in, I want to make sure that you guys is all in. Y'all comfy, y'all cozy. We normally do this on Wednesdays, but we decided we're gonna do it today because we just want to come and hang out and talk to you today. So what's happening, you guys? Listen. Trying to do two things at once. You guys come in and let everybody know that the Grow Your Money Club is on, and we're going to talk all things in the news. We're going to talk headline news today, and of course, as always, I want you to talk back to me and talk black to me. What does that mean? The way this works is that we need you to engage with us because this is a dialogue and not a monologue. That means I want you to put in the comments. I want you to talk back to us. Put in the comments where you're watching from. Okay, first of all, if this is your first time watching, welcome to the Grow Your Money podcast with Constance and April. And so if you go to Talk Black, the number 2 me, you can come on here live and talk to us and get in the studio with us and talk live with us. If you want to come in, if there's something that's been burning on your heart, if you have a question or whatever, come on in with us. Go to talkblack, the number 2 me.com, and we will bring you in. Okay. So I know that we have people that watch from all over the world. I already see y'all chiming in. So what's happening, Double A? What's happening? What's happening? Deborah will win. What's happening? What's up, ladies? It's so good to see your beautiful faces. And then I just want to, I was talking to Deborah. Excuse me. Who was that? Double A. I was just telling April this morning about the big news about you doing the damn thing over the weekend. I told her that you went out there getting your education and stuff. You know, they say Black women are the largest, the most educated demographic. And so I just want to shout you out again. Girl went out there and got her master's degree last weekend. So congratulations, Miss Double A. But for everybody who always comes on here, I appreciate you always coming on. And again, if you want to come on here with us, go to talkblack, number 2 me.com. You know me and April always have a good time. What's up, Miss Sophia? How you doing? What's up, Miss Brenda from Virginia? How you doing? And who else is on here? What's up, Miss Poetry in Motion? What's happening, lady? So we're going to have a little girl talk today. And men, you are more than welcome to join us. We're going to just talk about all things in the headlines today with your favorite good girlfriend, your good sister. I don't know if you guys know her. You may or may not know. And I know I kind of gave it away in the comments. And I know that a lot of you guys already know who she is. But it wouldn't be right if I didn't do a proper introduction to, the co-host.
APRILSAMPE, y'all say. One more time, APRILSAMPE, y'all say.
Girl.
Hello. Listen, do you have this book?
I have it.
Well, honey, I know you have this book, but everyone else needs to have this book because if you don't have this book, you're poor. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all beautiful people? Honey, I'm so excited about Miss Double A, honey. Double A got all them double A's to make sure.
Listen.
That she was able to get her master's, honey.
She don't got an AA. She don't got just a BA. Oh, girl got an MBA. Double A got an MBA. Double A got an MBA. You know what you need to do, Double A? You need to go get this sweatsuit I got on. It's called, I didn't even show you, April. Did I ever show you this?
Black Brilliance?
Black Brilliance.
Black Brilliance.
And wait. Oh,
it's on the bootay. Black Brilliance on the bootay.
Wait. You see that? Wait. Let me go ahead.
Black Brilliance on the bootay. Yay!
Yeah.
I love of a good booty print.
You can go get that on conversationtees.com. Black
Conversation
brilliance.
That's conversation tea. That's
Get your black brilliance
so
sweatsuit.
here's where she has it.
You got the black brilliance sweatsuit?
Damn.
Okay.
You should send a picture, honey. Send a picture. Let's see you in it.
We want to see you in your black brilliance. Okay? We want to see you in your black brilliance. Where's Conversation Tea? There you go. You just go get it at conversationtees.com along with all of the other black brilliance paraphernalia.
She has the book. Honey.
I thought she had
Either
the
way, honey, either way you are winning. Okay. If you have the outfit, you're winning. But if you have this book, you're not for
it. This is only black brilliant people can get this sweatsuit though. Only black brilliant people. If you're not black brilliant, I don't want you to get it. This is only for black brilliant people. Okay. Everybody else stay away.
Lord Jesus. Don't stay away from it. Because you know what? I would actually love to see everybody in that. I want to see white people and Asian people. I don't care who you are, what color. You wear something that says black brilliance. Because why not?
Brilliant people can wear it though.
They would be brilliant if they were wearing a black brilliance sweatshirt or a sweatsuit. I'm just saying.
Boom. Yeah. Dennis, he's much love to the beautiful queens. What's happening, Dennis? So April, all right, it's Tuesday. What's going on in the news? Let's get right on it.
Okay, can we talk about one thing it's only one thing that I really want to talk about. And as you all know, I watch Housewives. I watch Atlanta Housewives and I watch Potomac Housewives.
I didn't know you had time to watch TV because I ain't got time.
I don't. And that's the problem. Okay. That's the problem. But I do watch it. And talking about black brilliance, there's a young lady on there by the name of Wendy. And everybody looked at her as if she was brilliantly black. She has her PhD. Huh?
What's her name?
Dr. Wendy Osefa.
She's African.
Mm-hmm. She's Nigerian. Her husband's Nigerian. Very beautiful couple, made 3 very beautiful children. I love the fact that they start with education, right? They start with growing their family within education. Hi, always Janelle. That's my favorite right there. And with watching them on the television, the thing that frustrates me the most is that they have allowed themselves to want to keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
So what had happened was they started doing insurance fraud. Right. They said that somebody broke into their home. Allegedly, y'all. Allegedly. They said that somebody broke into their home and stole all this stuff. And come to find out, they were the ones who stole all the stuff. You see her in interviews after the alleged robbery wearing the jewelry that has been stolen. Make it make sense. And I'm like, as brilliant as you are, okay, you need to be brilliant in your robberies or brilliant in your lies. I'm just saying, like, do better. Or maybe do worse. I don't know. But you don't have to keep up with the Joneses.
Were they broke? Did they need the money? They were broke?
I mean, listen, the money that you're making on Housewives, if you're doing it right, because it's not like it was their first season. That's the part that gets me. Like, I can understand if it's your first season. Here's baby Jesus. Somebody go get baby Jesus. I can understand if it's your first season, second season, you're not making that kind of money. Okay. This is like season number 5 for her or 4 or something like that. You're making more.
This is the Potomac Housewives?
Mm-hmm. You're making more than enough money, number 1. Number 2, your husband is an attorney. Number 3, you just created something called Happy Eddie, which is a dispensary, I want to say. And supposedly it was doing exceptionally well. So I'm like, you're doing all of the things. Why do you need to commit fraud? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I can understand if somebody says, listen, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. I need you to make that make sense. Why? That's it. You ain't got no words.
I'm sorry. I was muted. I can't give you a why. I mean, it's just simply greed. You know, people are just greedy. They just want more and more and more. And I can understand how you just really want to maintain a lifestyle. Listen, when you're an entrepreneur or you have a certain status, it's hard to kind of maintain all the time. And sometimes we go through ebbs and flows as people, as business owners. Some things happen. And instead of us, our egos being bruised, where we just have to take that L and sit our asses down, we don't want to take that L. We're going to do it by any means necessary. So it sounds like they're both were in cahoots in doing this, but that is, it's like, obviously they weren't real crooks because they didn't know how to do the crook shit.
How to do it. Listen, just little helpful, fun fact, little helpful hint. You all right? You okay? We talk about you later. When you steal, okay, and then you lie and say when you lie and say that something's been stolen, maybe sell it so that you won't be wearing the same thing ever again. Like, I don't know. Get rid of it. Maybe you've already worn it more than enough times, so you're saying that it's stolen. I don't know. But you could have done other things. Just showing up. As a celebrity, showing up in buildings gets you paid, right? Just going to a place, you can actually get paid to say, I'm going to sit in this building, not speak to anyone, and collect unlimited amounts of drinks and food. And I'm getting paid for. You could do that. You can do that for a whole year and make more than enough money, more than what you lied about. Just partying and enjoying your life. I don't get it. I don't. Anyway, stop giving them ideas.
Does anybody on here watch the Housewives? Anybody on here watch Housewives? I'm not a big fan, but I did watch.
She knows about Happy Eddie, but go ahead. You were saying?
No, I was gonna say, did anybody watch the Den of Kings? Anybody watch that?
You were talking about
Franklin's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it last night. I kept, every time I watch something on TV, I always fall asleep. So I, did that. It wasn't that it was boring. It was really great conversation. I love it. I like the one that he had with Ty. I like all of them. So has anybody watched that show, Den of Kings? Kirk Franklin, not to show his podcast. And this is where he has a bunch of brothers sitting around the table. Ray J was there. Some doctor, I don't know this doctor. Then it was Jonathan Majors and in Ellie Choppa. Yeah. And so when I don't know if you saw the clips on there. The clips, let me see if I can find a clip from the show. But it kind of showed like NLE Choppa was dropping some bombs, right? They were like, oh, he's, and it made it seem like, they were cutting him off and they weren't just listening to him. But when I looked at it, let me show you. When I looked at it, I was like, okay, NLE Choppa, he's young and he don't know how to shut the fuck up. And so that was the problem, is he just thought he knew everything. Every time they asked him a question, or he would always interrupt. And I was getting sick and tired of him, to be honest with you. But I don't know if anybody watching, but let me just see. Let me see. Let me share my screen. I'm not sure which one this is. Yeah, you've been catching the clips on TikTok. So let me go here. But it was good. It's always good to see Black men talking about things that are important to them. And it's also good to see, Black men also being vulnerable. Wait, let me go here.
While you're looking, I want to point out that Sophia said that she doesn't see the outfit on the site. And we want to make sure that everybody gets the Black Brilliance. So we will make sure that happens for you. Sophia, thank you so much for the love.
Immediately. Go to you know what? Go to whatchamacallit. What's the name? Net7gear.com. Let's go to net7gear.com. But let's see. This is kind of when he y'all see it? Okay. So
you can't hear it though.
Yeah, let me put the volume on.
You get what I'm saying? Why would I drop down and praise my brother instead of praising my father? And that goes back to honoring your parents.
I just gotta say something.
What?
Have you read the Bible?
I read the Bible. I listen to the Bible. I receive from source straight.
I would say read it again.
Sir.
Let me ask you a question, Ray J.
And Christian.
Right. And then there was something that like Ray J had asked him, like, because what's happening, because when I saw these clips, I was like, well, it looks like this is young brother, it sounds like he's talking and he's saying all the right things. And it sounds like they are It sounded like a bunch of Christians, because everybody on here was Christians, and it
Mhm.
sounded like from the clips that they were just cutting him off because they were Christians and they believe, Jesus is Lord. He doesn't believe that. But what was happening was every time they just tried to share, like Kev on stage was talking, he was crying about his brother dying, and he was just saying, like, there's some things you just can't pray away. It's some things that just hurt. Like I told my, when other people died, when it was other people, like, yo, man, God got you. I'm gonna pray for you. It all be all good. It's God's purpose. But he was like, but when it was me, I couldn't pray this away. And NLE Chopper, he just kind of like, yeah, but it's, because my grandfather, it's not the same. Your brother, your best friend, your partner that you've been with, that, right? And so he was trying to relate, but he was cutting people off, and I was just like, I was getting tired of him. Also, what I noticed on here was Ray J was high as shit. I don't care what anybody says. Ray J needs some serious help, because
Ray J needs a hug. Okay, Ray J needs two things: a hug and some attention. That's what Ray J needs. I feel like Ray J is the little brother that always just wanted to be like, look at me, and nobody ever looked.
Ray J's killing it though. Ray J makes more money than anybody. Ray J, I think Ray J's made some poor choices, but I think he's also made some poor substance choices. But let's look at, let me see him.
Space to where I had everything I wanted, but nothing I needed. So it was like, everything of my wants, it was reachable. Money, cars, clothes, women, of course, all the things that's in the other side of the promise.
How old are you?
I was around 17. This was like after I had blew up.
So he's basically talking about, how he, did some self-harm, and that's what they were talking about. So the doctor was talking about how he cut himself. They were all talking about being suicidal. And I think that's really dope for them to have a safe space for them to share as men, specifically Black men, because there is no place where I think a lot of Black men could just talk about the most deep, dark, vulnerable places and spaces that they face. I don't think nobody on earth can relate to a Black man. The closest thing that can relate to a Black man is a Black woman, period. The closest thing you have to relate is a Black woman, right? Because we've had some experiences, but nobody can relate to a Black man. Nobody on earth can relate to a Black man like another Black man, because they share a lot of the same experiences. And Black people in general are just not considered human. We're not given the same grace as everybody else. We're not given the same space to do the certain things like everybody else. And so, it's so great to see men just being vulnerable, right? Mm-hmm. The video was great. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. Deborah will win. But it was a great conversation. And it's always good to just see Black men in their element, uninhibited. But there was a moment when Ray J just got up and walked out. Was like, I got to smoke some cigarettes, and I didn't even see him for the rest of the thing. Like, he didn't really participate. Like, dude was just, you could tell, and you could tell he was depressed, because he was just like, Hollywood is like, he was just.
It is though.
Yeah, man.
You don't have that conversation on a regular basis. In fact, we just recently had the conversation about like me and what I should be doing when it comes to entertainment. Mm-hmm. And how much I do not want to be, and let's just be real here. I'm older now. I'm never going to be Beyonce. Okay. I don't want to be Beyonce.
You're not trying to make the band? I say, you're not still trying to make Diddy's band?
No. The crazy part is I never wanted to be on that level for that reason. There's so many things that I saw behind the stage where I'm like, or beyond the stage, where I'm like, damn, that's what you're going through? That's what you're dealing with? Nah, I don't want that. And the way you treat me, it's like magnified. If I was on a much higher level, you can't go to the grocery store. Y'all, let me tell y'all, you would think going to the grocery store is a chore. No, for people like that, they're just like, all I want to do is go to the grocery store and pick out my own food.
Michael Jackson. They said he would go in disguises.
You got to be covered up and disguised just so you can have a life. So and so you look at a person like Ray J, and I'll say this as an entertainer. I'm sorry, you guys, it's the truth. I've gotten very far away from this, I guess, in my move and in my in the fact that I'm not necessarily performing as much as I used to. But Number one, being the baby. Babies, especially if you're in a family with somebody who everybody and their mama knows, right? Being the baby is hard. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Everybody's like, "Oh, the baby's spoiled." No, the baby gets no attention.
I got all the attention as a baby. I'm sorry.
You are a different case. On average, the baby gets no attention, especially if they have a brother and sister who the world knows. I should know. Everybody in them. I was always Sonia's little sister or Dave's little sister. That's it. Like, that's it. Think about Ray J. He's Brandy's brother. No matter what, you just said, look at how much money Ray J was making. He's
That's
always going to be Brandy's brother, huh?
I said $1 kajillion.
$1 billion. After creating Raycon, he's always going to be Brandy's brother. That's number one. He slept with freaking Kim Kardashian and made Kim Kardashian. And then he ended up being like the outcast.
Yeah.
Like, come on, son. She ended up being the biggest thing ever. And yeah, like, and so you look at Ray J, poor thing, he always wanted that attention. He wanted the attention. He wanted somebody to accept him for who he was. But he was always going to be Brandy's brother. He was always going to be less than. So he's like, all right, I'll create my own lane and I'll do reality TV. And that fucked him up even more.
Yeah. And I mean, the beginning and the end for Ray J was when he started doing reality TV. It's just kind of got really out of control. Let me show you that one clip where I was talking about where Kev on stage was talking about his brother. And so you can get some context. Let me see.
Here's what I get what you're saying. I get how what I'm saying could be.
No. I'm not even saying that. I'm just speaking from my
moment. You can't discern or decipher that.
But
right, it will lead.
In that moment, you can't.
No,
but if you keep,
I want to say something real quick. I want to say something real quick.
Make that connection there.
I think I'm a church kid, so, and I'm 42 now. So, and I'm a church kid in the sense of like, there was nothing else.
Yes, sir.
It is just Jesus. There's no medicine. There's no therapy. There's no divorce. Somehow, if your husband's beating you, God's going to, like, everything is God's going to do it. God's got a plan, right? That's all you
That's
have.
what you're dealing with at the table, NLE.
Yeah.
See,
No.
in NLE's defense, let me just say this.
But I'm not religious. I'm not Christian. I'm not none of these things. I just believe in God. I go straight to source.
Right. But here's what I
get what you're saying. I get how what I'm saying could be.
No. I'm not even saying that. I'm just speaking from my experience, not even directly to what you said or what you meant.
No, I receive.
But what John and Jay was saying, it's like when I was young, that made sense, right? I'm not.
What
is not
made
ancient.
sense? What made sense?
What you're saying? God somehow this is going to make sense because God's going to make sense. God has a plan, and that was true for me when I was young, right? When I got older, and when my brother died, and as a child, it's just God kind of called him home. God had a better plan for him. No man understands God's thing. When I was a kid in that, with somebody else's grandma, somebody else's brother, that was cool. And I'm even telling them that. Yeah, don't worry about it. God's got you. Jesus is here. Jesus, just pray. Jesus died for this. All of a sudden, after 40 years of saying that stuff, and I'm not saying you don't believe it, because I believe it too. Oh yeah, God's got you, brother Key. I'm praying for you, right? And I'm hearing that until it was me. And then you're looking at God like, where?
But did he have you? Did he? My thing is, hold up. Did God have you though? Did he?
I don't believe he did. That's my truth.
You said you didn't know then, or you still don't know now?
Still now.
You don't.
And
know.
also in the Bible, people in the Bible were like, Jesus was like, I don't understand what is happening.
It's not meant for you to understand,
right? But this is what I'm saying though. Hear what I'm saying. In that moment, when my brother, right, and we talking about the celebrity, fame, and all this type of stuff, and I'm sure we all know this, that your circle of like actual trust people that you know, if everything about you that everybody loves was gone, the amount of people who will be like, hey brother, you Uber, I don't care, come by the house, we're playing Uno. That amount of people that you really actually trust is usually less than 5 people, maybe 2 or 3 people.
1000%.
Right? For me, one of those two people is gone.
1000%.
So now it's like, and then you have people at the church, at the funeral. Oh, brother, God's got you. Okay, I hear y'all. Okay, but that person is gone.
Do you know what we're talking about? Let me
Spiritual
hold-
bypass.
No.
Is he gone though? Is that person really gone?
That
energy
is dead.
But if energy never died, then
No.
Let me ask you this,
really
let me tell you what's happening, King. Let me tell you what you're dealing with at the table. I'm gonna share something with you.
I'm dealing with the same thing.
What? No, and
I'm dealing.
and I
with
respect
the
you.
same. I deal with.
And I know what you
I
are.
deal with the way I deal with people dying in the most violent way, and I gotta go to their funerals, pay for them motherfuckers, and they mama have to cry on my shoulder.
I'm not discounting that.
I'm not discounting either, but I'm saying.
Well, no. First of all, I am
boy was not
very
listening.
grateful that the space for conversation is just happening.
Me too, bro.
They was having a chance to talk. Yeah,
No, this is actually the conversation.
Yes. Yeah. But I do want you to know, and I do want you to know what you're also walking into is because
I know what I'm walking into.
Well, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
if I can frame it like this, if you don't mind, just give me a second, and I really appreciate that. You're also talking to people, and I want to go to this with you, Ray J. It's because you were raised in the church too. This is what you're also doing. See, you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I need your help on this. You weren't raised in church, were you?
My grandmother on my dad's side took my pops to church 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day.
What about you?
I'm a product of that.
Okay.
That veered my father away from church.
Wow.
I wasn't in church every day and all this.
Good.
I was not. I can't say.
Which is
but
good.
I still receive what he felt. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a generational thing.
Yes,
that gets
yes, sir.
passed down.
Yes, sir.
So whether I feel it the way he felt it or not, I still feel it secondhand. You feel?
Well, let me tell you why I said that. It's because I appreciate and love when people did not have to be forced to go to church and have stuff thrown down their throats, because it gives them a different way to paint their picture of the journey.
I get what
So
you're
if you-
saying. But going to church isn't the solution, man.
No,
I get
I'm not disagreeing with you, King. I'm sharing with you what you're walking into.
And I
What's
receive
happening at the
that. I
table is that
understand.
for a lot of us, let's call it what it is, religious trauma.
I understand
What we're
that.
dealing with a lot at this table is because we have had people make us feel
You
bad.
know why though? It's a thing where you have us here as people, you have God, and then this is what happened. We got to go through all these different things to get primarily the source.
What problem?
Primarily the source. You know what I have a problem with? One of the things I have a problem with,
The fact that you're still talking.
and it may be controversial. A lot of people may say this and may say that. I don't like, let me say it.
Yo,
Yeah,
April.
I can't. Because honestly, I'd have cursed him out. I would have, especially, listen, let me say this. Anybody who knows me knows when it comes to my brother and my sister, don't. Like, honestly. And Kev is sitting up here explaining something that hurt him so badly. And he's saying, this is my perspective. And he's like, nah, King. No, sir, ma'am. Okay. I like, that would be the ghetto side of me coming out like, hold on. I need you to shut up or catch these hands.
STFU. STFU.
Now I can't even-
SYAD.
Start over again because your internet.
STFU.
100%.
SYAD.
Right.
Both. Yes.
At the same damn time.
Immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It was like,
by yourself.
so the clips I saw, I was like, oh, young brother, he giving it to him. Looks sound like they, Negro, you will not let these men talk. Have you been raised in church? Well, my brother, my daddy, my
grandmother.
have you been raised in church? No, but I get to church from secondhand. Have you?
I have had church secondhand. Sir,
That is
this is not like smoke, okay? Listen, I understand that you've had somebody smoking versus secondhand smoke. You might still get lung cancer. Amen? Amen. But there's no such thing, oh glory, as secondhand church. Amen. I can't.
Oh, it was
hand church. You know what? That's what I'm gonna start saying. Because whenever I be quoting my spiritual Bible verses, okay,
right.
y'all don't know. I know some. And everybody said, "Where you get it?" Oh, hallelujah, holla back. I done got it.
Shut up. But yeah, he's
secondhand church.
Let me show you this other part where Kev really had me like, oh God. And hold on.
Everything. She said, "What's the topic?" Everything and all things.
What's up, Atoya? All right.
To watch Kev have to mourn his brother, who I knew that they were so close. This was also his manager.
But was it any like when your brother passed, was any malicious stuff that happened? Like was it any?
No, so this is this is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, this is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right? So man.
Lost my grandfather though to cancer.
Well, sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and died. Okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour. And I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal. And the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling, and everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking. We were texting. We were talking about sports. And then my sister-in-law called and was like, "Your brother had a seizure." And I'm like, "What?" I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, "I'm just talking to him." And I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, I came home and I was like, "I'm going to go to my show. He'll be fine." And my wife was like, "I'm going to go to Houston. I think you should come." And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying and my nephew called me on the plane and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone. Wow. This was the last time he was alive. I'm talking to him the night before. We make the New York Times bestseller. Look, thank you, Ray J. So it's the highest high. Like that day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, and it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him, and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember. So and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family. So now all of a sudden I've got to help his wife, his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden, even though we're all sharing the same pain. I'd only been to 2 funerals before that. The 3rd funeral was my brother, and now I have to pay for and plan it. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've never done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I still got to be my own husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still got to show up. You know, that's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like, I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
But I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, man. Is that,
man.
Do you think?
I love how Kev on stage, he's one of, what's funny is on his page. I don't know if you guys seen on his page where he showed this clip and then he said Ray J hit him on his back hecka hard. He said Ray J hit him on his back hecka hard. And then, he's always so polite and he stops and thanks him. Gives him
right. You still just beat the crap out of you. Like, thank you, man. Thank you. Seriously.
But I loved all of them. And I just think it again, just seeing a place where these Black men can just ultimately be themselves and be vulnerable amongst other Black men, I think it was beautiful to watch.
You know what I appreciate about it? Kirk Franklin is church. Like whenever, I'm sorry, listen, for a churchgoer like myself, glory. When I think about church, like I'm going to think Kirk Franklin, right? If I'm going to think a gospel song, I'm going to be like, above my head, I hear music in the air. Right? Like I'm going to think Kirk Franklin. And the one thing I can appreciate is his honesty about church.
Yeah.
Like everybody is like, you listen, go to church. I'm all for church. And I'm so like not a religious person. If anybody knows me, you know I am so spiritual. Me and God are so unbelievably close. Like me and God are so unbelievably close, but I am not religious. But do I believe the religion is important for some people and needed for some people? Absolutely, because there are so many people that would be doing so much bad in this world if it wasn't for organized religion. You know what I'm saying? But I like
is that they have no moral compass on their own.
Well, but you also, the way I see it is there's certain people that I've come in contact with that when I see them and how much church means to them, but I knew how they grew up, I'm like, oh, you needed church in order to get out of that hell that you were in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like church literally saved you. The church saves some people, and it's very, you can see it. We can all see it. And I understand it. But I also want that person who says, this is not for everybody. And this particular situation, just if you've been through some things, the church is not going to fix it. Church doesn't always fix it, no matter how many times they say it. And I always brought up to you like how I had clients when I worked at the bank who would give all of their money to the church and not have any money for themselves. Yes, eating animal food and literally living their lives for the church. And I'm like, dang, this is your everything. That's church ain't for them. Period. But I appreciate Franklin, Mr. Church himself, saying church ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
There has to be a balance. And I think a lot of times people become fanatical. When people become fanatical at certain things, I think that's when it becomes a bad thing. So I remember this lady, she was saying how, she would be the church, how the church had demanded her to be in church 24/7. In the meantime, her kids at home acting up, her kids are neglected. I know one of my friends, her dad was a pastor, he died, and her mom was a pastor, and she died. And so their brother ended up being, he was gangbanger. He ended up dying. I think a couple of the sisters, some of them are in church, some of them aren't. She's like, I love God. I just don't want to go to church because I seen the neglect that it put on my family. Right. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was first. Everything was about church. And so then there's no balance. And so that can also have a negative impact. So everything, doing everything like with balance, I think is extremely important. Remember that I sent you guys a video. I want to know what you guys think. There's a video that I showed, the video I showed the girl, the funny girl. I want to know what you guys think of this video.
This reminds me of me.
I think it's pretty funny. And I mean, it does require some critical thinking. She just started doing these little story times on TikTok the other day.
Trouble because y'all keep asking follow-up questions, but the short answer is yes. God loves you so much that he will burn you up for not loving him back. And it's pretty simple, actually, because he created you as a sinner because he loves you and he hates sin. Okay, so he decided what was a sin and then put it inside you, and then you got to get it out, right? So he said, I'll send my son and kill him because the sin I put in you, I hate it, and I'll burn you up for it. And so he sent his son and then killed him so he could get rid of the sin that he put in you because he hates it. But listen, because he loves you. And so he knew, though, when he killed his son, that his son wasn't really dead. he was going to come back again. And when he came back, he was only going to be dead for 3 days. And from Friday night to early Sunday morning is 3 days, no matter what you can count. And so he knew that when he killed his son, he was only going to be dead for the 3 days and he was going to come right back. So he was like, listen, son, you only got to die for a little while, but you can go to hell and get the keys to the pearly gates because they're locked. Because the security, the devil had already been in heaven, okay, and he got kicked out, so they had to put the gates up and lock it. And that's where the keys was at. The devil had the keys to the gate. And Jesus had to go down there and get them. And he got them and brought them back. And he's in heaven with them. And he's going to come back for us when he gets done building our mansions because he's the great carpenter. And that's why he had to come to earth to learn how to do carpentry work so he could build our mansions and we can go and be with him. And it's honestly really pretty simple. But yes, he loves you so much that he put sin in your heart that he hates so that you could burn if you don't love him back. Mm-hmm.
And that makes perfect sense as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you have to think about it. That's accurate.
This sounds confusing though. I don't know. I don't know. There's a freaking
Nap, I'm sure.
It must be a nap. It must be a nap. Yeah. When you put it like that, it's like, huh?
Wait, what's her name on social media?
And she actually has a whole story time series too.
Pretty simple,
Queen
actually.
Erin the First. Queen.
No, she's hilarious. She's hilarious.
She has a whole series.
But supposedly she used to teach like
Yeah,
the Bible.
she was a pastor.
Yo. And I can appreciate it. I can appreciate. There's so much that they taught me. I went to church for 15 minutes when I was younger. And there was so much that I learned that I'm like, I can't live like this. I can't be, this is not my life. You can't dress a certain way. You can't act a certain way. You're always apologizing for the person that you are. And I find that I do that even though I'm like, half the time I don't care. But I find myself apologizing very often. And a lot of that stems from my childhood, going to church and everybody like looking at me like, yeah, you're always wrong. I appreciate somebody like her coming out and saying, listen, does this make sense?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Let me
doesn't allow you to critically think.
Actually,
there are some concepts.
There's one thing that she said that's what reminded me that I wanted to watch that video. But real quick, I do want to say, I'm gonna go back to that. I do want to say there was one part on Kev on Stage that I can really appreciate when he talks about his wife. I want 20 years. I think they've been married, or 15 years that they've been married, and the way he talks about Kev on Stage. Respect that brother, because the way he talked about his wife
is the way that Malcolm talked about his.
Who?
Malcolm.
Oh yes, the way Malcolm Jamal Warner talked about. Girl, listen, I was like, hey, hook your girl up with Malcolm.
To the women part, and I can only speak to my wife. She never weaponized my vulnerability, and I think that you know. I'm not even a tough street dude or anything like that, but I also never wanted to appear weak in front of my wife.
Yeah.
And that's what my, military brat, it's all orders and, sharp corners and stuff. Like my dad did not cry. He didn't, what I'm saying? He never seemed weak to me ever. He cried one time, but it was his dad passed away. But the point is, I never saw that. So when my wife was like, I remember when I first opened up, I'm just giving you a little piece to see if you're going to, in 2 weeks, be like, yeah, remember when you was crying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think that happens. I think that happens in a lot of relationships.
It does happen to some men.
Yeah. Yes. And then you will never, ever get the version of him that you could have got. Yeah. And I think my wife, God bless her, she has allowed me, and with each safety, it allowed me to be more vulnerable with her. To now, if she were to ever, to be vulnerable is to leave yourself open to attack. So now I'm so vulnerable with her, she could do irreparable harm.
Yeah.
If she wanted. Yeah. And that's and because she could and doesn't, we're able to reach a level of love that you can only have if you are truly vulnerable. And she is with me. It's not a one-way street, but I think it's easier for women to be vulnerable, more easy than it is for men.
And it hides the intimacy.
And it hides the intimacy as well, because you like, and that I said this in another podcast, like people often ask me why I don't cheat. Brother, I'm not getting that. Like, do you understand the value of somebody that you can trust to fall asleep, like just to fall asleep? Right. Like sometimes you can't even fall asleep. They get pictures of you sleep. Like, what kind of peace could if I can't even fall asleep? If my picture is valuable, like we can't have any trust or relationship if I can't even trust you that I can't fall asleep.
That's beautiful.
And when I was going through that, when my brother passed, she was with me like every day, highs, lows. I remember I didn't even know what vulnerability meant. She was like, I want you to be able to share your fears with me. And I remember telling her, how can I share my fears with you if I don't share my fears with myself?
Wow.
I don't face my fears. So I cannot tell you them because if I acknowledge them, they're now real.
Wow.
But she, after 10, 15 years of marriage, you needed that to continue to go. Surface stuff, that's not going to get you 21 years of marriage.
Yeah.
You can't be on the surface for 20 years.
Yeah.
Eventually, you either want more or there's nothing left.
Yes.
So I think to answer your question in a shorter way is not weaponizing vulnerability allows your man, your husband or boyfriend to be more vulnerable, and therefore you can come back stronger that way.
What do you think about that?
I love that. And I love the fact that his wife gives him that space, because in this day and age, if we watch social media, let's just be real, how often have we seen where the wife is like, you ain't shit, you ain't never gonna be shit, you ain't this, you ain't that. That's going to stop him from ever sharing with you. That's going to stop your relationship from ever growing. He loves his wife and his wife loves him, and she's created a space that allows him to grow into the person that he's becoming. And the fact that he loves her the way that he does, I feel that allows her to be in her most feminine self. Be her most feminine self. Is that what I want to say? That's what I want to say.
No, I agree. It takes time and work. And I just feel like shit at 50, too late for me?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
My father got married. How old was my dad when they got married? My father was in his 70s. Like, no, it's not. It's never too late. Like, I'm just saying that, like, people are getting married even now.
I didn't say I wanted to get married, but I was like to have that level of intimacy, or for someone to be that vulnerable.
Okay, I'm putting her business out there, y'all. She said nobody ever said anything about getting married today. Okay, today. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't. Oh my gosh, Deborah Will Win is here. You ready? You ready? Come on, Deborah. You ready? You ready? Ready? Let's go. Let's go. What's happening, Deborah? What's up, girl?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Look through with the smile.
Oh, thank
She's
you.
gorgeous.
You ladies are beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What's going on, girl? What do you think about
Nothing much. Oh man, I love Kevin on stage. He is amazing. Him and Melissa's journey is amazing right now. And to see them go the height that they're going and just be so vulnerable, both of them, not just Kev, Melissa too. So it's just really nice. But it's nice when men can be vulnerable like that. I think they're stronger when they're that way. And they're not hiding anything.
Are you married?
I was. Yeah,
How long were you
not
married?
anymore. 5 years.
How long you been single?
Almost 15.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you enjoying being single?
Yes.
Do you want to get married?
Look at that smile, honey. Look, she's enjoying her life very well.
Yes, I am. But
here's the thing about that, though. Here's the thing about that, Deborah. So you sometimes you can get to a point where like you're just content with being single. Then you don't want to be bothered with nobody. Have you gotten to that place yet? Like, I don't even want to be bothered with nobody. Or do you still desire companionship?
I do. Yes, I do. I do, but they gotta fit in a certain mold. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
I'm gonna
I
support
think that's what
you,
the
you
issue is.
support me, and then we support each other. How about that?
Now I'm for that, but when I hear mold in my head, it's there is a certain thing that he has to be exactly this way. And my thing is, we as women, we are not exactly whatever way.
Nobody thinks that. She just thinks because she thinks that I think that, and that's
No, no,
not
I know that you know that because I know you.
lies.
Hold on.
I was watching MJ Harris the other day, right? And he was actually speaking to me. He said, you know, the women who like they feel like they gotta have a connection up front and they gotta, you know, it gotta be this, gotta be that. He said, you know what kind of women those are? Single women. I was like, damn. You mean to tell me I gotta go out on a date with somebody I don't really want to go out on a date with just to see if I like the man or not?
No,
Go
I
Kev.
don't think that.
Listen, Kev
No.
just said it. Kev is like, listen, I allowed myself to be vulnerable. Like he allowed himself to be vulnerable. And that wasn't like an overnight thing. You don't just wake up saying, you know what, I'm going to allow my whole wall to be down when I first meet somebody. And so we're expecting that they're going to show their 100% true, authentic self at all times. We don't because we have our wall up when we meet somebody. So why do we expect that men are going to be any different? Listen, I talk about my brother all the time. Again, my brother's one of my favorite humans. And he was telling me about a woman that he was talking to. And he was like, I really enjoy her. I love talking to her, all the things. And he wanted to send her a good morning text and, you know, all the things that you want to do when you first meet somebody. And he's having second thoughts because he's like, is that going to be too much? Is that an issue? And so she sends him a message saying, you know what, you just don't seem like you're interested in me. So let's keep it moving. He was like, you know what, I'm actually interested in her. So let me just, he was like, listen, she's already telling me she wants to move on. So let me just be vulnerable. Listen, I don't date like this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Then my brother, trust me, my brother can pull him. He can pull him. Okay. Very handsome man, doing what he's supposed to be doing, single father, an amazing human, right? But he doesn't have it all together when it comes to dating. He doesn't, guys don't know exactly what they want, just like we don't know exactly what we want. But we don't give them any grace and we expect them to give us all of it. Sit down.
You see, she said all the things about her brother, Deborah, and she ain't trying to hook me up with him.
Absolutely not. There is NFW. No fucking way that I would hook you up with my brother.
He's all
She loves you too much, Constance. She loves you too much.
Oh, I do. I
That's
love
what
her
it is.
so
She loves
much.
you too much.
Hey, Deborah, what did you think of? What did you think of? Huh? What did you think?
Oh,
Huh?
go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. No, what did you think? Go ahead, April. You got it.
Constance will be like, oh no, I just really like him. He's the greatest thing ever. I love spending time with him. And then the next week, how's everything going with you and my brother? Oh, you know what? I forgot about him. No, absolutely no
Not
way.
ADHD. Not
It happens. I do
ADHD.
be forgetting. I be forgetting. I do. If I don't talk to him for a day, I didn't forget all about him. Oh yeah, okay. We did just have a 2-hour conversation. We did just have a great day.
This morning. This morning.
Deborah, what did you think about that lady, Miss Erin, Queen Erin?
Queen Erin.
The church lady.
Don't mislead the people. Please, Queen.
I thought everything she said was accurate. Wait, that's not accurate?
No, it wasn't. No. I'm a Christian, and I know what she was saying was there was accuracy there. Yes, but if somebody's new and they don't know, the word for themselves, then they could be, a little confused by her storytelling. She did it in a theatrical way, but it was true. It was
Okay.
true.
So April said something about like the moral compass, like people need church in order to like be good, like in order to be good. So actually one of her latest videos was just that.
Most religion doesn't allow you to critically think. There are some concepts that religious people just miss. That is the cognitive dissonance that comes from the washing of your mind, okay, or renewing. Brainwashing is renewing of your mind. You indoctrinate yourself into those thoughts and beliefs. But y'all don't seem to understand the difference between the concept of sin, which is based on the rules of your religion, and morals and ethics. You think that you are morally superior if you are religious. But that's not true. Oftentimes, the people who gravitate towards religions are the ones who are struggling with their moral compass, and they need this book to tell them to be a good person. Versus people who don't rely on that are usually higher in their internal moral compass and ethics because they're not looking for a book to tell them to do right and wrong. They do what is right because they feel it is right. So people act like if you don't go to church, you're just going to go out and start maiming and killing people. But you know what? Since I've left church, I haven't killed anyone and haven't had the desire to because of my morals and ethics. See, I can believe that stuff is morally wrong and ethically wrong in terms of behavior. Killing is wrong. Stealing is wrong. Not only that, it's illegal. Sometimes the right and wrong does not line up with the laws because there was a time when slavery was legal, but it was still wrong morally. None of that has anything to do with sins. Religion creates its own set of rules, and the sins change based on who is in power, the time period, the culture, the geographical location, and so on and so forth. If we think about when we're young, there were things that we felt like were wrong. For example, at one time in a lot of churches and denominations, women could not preach. Women could not wear pants, just various different things. Over time, that has evolved and changed. In the Bible times, they used to marry children. They would marry girls that were 12 and 13 years old off to old men. It was totally fine. Today, not only is it a sin, it's illegal and immoral. Immoral. Because sins are based on the rules of that religion, and that's why it changes. That's why in the Bible times you could marry multiple women, but today that's illegal and you will go to jail. Some people feel like the things that are illegal are still morally right in their religion's eyes. They're not a sin. So some people practice polygamy, even though it's not legal in the United States. It's not a sin in their religion, and it is embraced in their religion. But religious people think that your moral compass is based on religion, and often religious people are some of the most vile and nasty folks because they're trying to hold back their true nature to fit in this box of rules, or they have gone to the religion because they're already a pretty despicable person and they're looking to cleanse themselves of their guilt and shame. So they cling to religion to try to force them to be a better person instead of actually being one. Talk to any servers about when they're serving church people in their restaurant and see if those are the people you want to sit in your section or you want some good old-fashioned heathens. Because you know what? People who don't use religion as a crutch tend to rely on their actual moral compass to do what they feel is right, and it is often more a moral high ground more than people who are relying on a set of punishment, a fear of hell, and a fear of some kind of eternal judgment to make them be a good person. I don't need a book to tell me not to kill people because I have morals and ethics and standards. That's not based on religion. And not knowing the difference is exactly why religion is dangerous.
That part.
What do y'all think? What y'all say? I see Skywalker said facts.
Who hurt?
What?
Who hurt
What?
sis in church? Who hurt her?
You heard her?
Who hurt her in church? Something happened, y'all. You know something happened.
Think something happened?
And it's
Okay, I
okay.
will say that there's a
Something
lot of
happened in
things that
church.
happen in church. I'm
But
sorry,
you
but
know,
for that very reason, a lot of things have happened in church where people have been raped, people have been beaten, or whatever the case is. Husbands are cheating on their wives, wives are cheating on their husbands, and all of this is happening under God's roof.
I mean, she said she's a
so
critical
true.
thinker. She said she's a critical thinker.
And
And she said that she studied the Bible. This is what she said. She said, I studied the Bible. I was a preacher. And then stuff just didn't add up for me. And so now I'm looking at it from a critical lens, and this stuff just doesn't make sense to her, is what she said.
I ain't mad
yeah,
at.
and they probably couldn't handle her truthfulness in church. They,
Mhm.
they like to cover up things and, of sorts. And that's
And
people doing
then
that.
you go to some churches that where the person who's teaching doesn't have an understanding, so then therefore they can't disseminate the word to the people. And so when you do have somebody who thinks differently, they just say, instead of explaining, they say, "Oh, have faith, don't question the word," and they can't critically respond to that person because they don't know. You have a lot of people in those positions that just simply don't know, and so they're also leading people astray.
That's true. My pastor is doing a series right now called Jesus in the Streets. And a lot of people can't.
What's it about? What's the premise?
Jesus in the streets, honey, don't you know?
Well, what's Jesus
Exactly.
doing in the streets?
About, people saying, oh, in the church, but then they'll say, oh, well, don't try me because I still got this or that about
Oh,
me.
try Jesus. Don't try me because I got hands.
Exactly.
I
You
throw
got
him.
it. You got it. So what are we doing? Jesus in the streets. That's
I mean, Jesus did turn over them tables, though. Jesus was about it.
Wait, Jesus was out there throwing hands?
He turned over some tables. They was in the synagogues. They was selling stuff. They was over there selling shit. They was desecrating the temple, and he was like,
chicken
"What?"
sandwiches, fish sandwiches. They were doing it all.
He was doing the most, just like they do in church today. Basically, your basic church of today. And so Jesus came in there and started throwing tables over. It was like, what?
This is great. Listen, y'all, we need to start reading the Bible more because they got winos, people turning water into wine. It's great. They throwing hands in the church. Y'all, this is
Listen,
amazing.
everything computer wise, they've gotten it from the Bible. It was a town called AI.
Really?
AI. Yes.
Who's
And now we got AI. A lot of stuff that came technology wise comes from the Bible.
What was a town called AI? What was that about?
It was a town where, oh my goodness, now I have to think about it, but I know it was a town called and they did some sacrificing and things like that there. And when I read about the story, I'm like, oh my God, this is where they got AI from. It's spelled the
Really?
same way, AI, and they call it I.
What church do you go to?
Yes. My church is called Kingdom Christian Cultural Center in Yonkers, New York.
In
I
Yonkers.
was
And my
about to say, you
bishop
got
is
from New
James
York.
Hassel. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lady
Okay.
Alonda Hassel, my senior pastor.
I love it.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, Miss Poetry said the Bible is a great action story.
Yeah, I'm about to go read that joint. Tell me where to start. Who want to tell me a good what chapter do I say? Let me focus. She said Book of Joshua.
Let me ask you this, Deborah. Do you think some are allegories or do you think it's all factual?
Um, I think that most of it is factual, and I believe that some of it is used to teach us, lessons. There's like everyday life stuff going on in there that went on 2025 years ago, still going on now.
Right.
From the racism, there's racism there, there's sexism in there, there's redlining in there, there's a lot going on in there.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. Especially when they
That's it.
tell people you can't live on one side of the water, you got to live on the other side. Like, that's redlining.
Really? I got
Yeah.
one more I want y'all to
So,
see.
okay.
I got one more. Hold on.
All the evidence.
And the first woman preacher was
What is this?
Mary. And she went back and told everybody about Jesus not being in the tomb. So she was the first woman preacher.
So when you so the reason why I asked about the allegories, because she talked about the book of Job, right? And um some people say, well, the book of Job is maybe just a allegory, maybe it's not a real story, maybe it's whatever. But let me just, and then we're gonna get up out of here. But let me just show you this last one when she talked about the book of Job.
Clarify about Job. See, Job was upright, honest, loved God and his family and everything. Satan came to God with some of the angels. This is in the Bible. Satan came to God with some of the angels, and God was like, Satan, what you been doing? And he was like, looking for who I could chew up and spit out. And God was like, did you think about Job? See, God suggested Job to the devil because Job was doing such a good job at serving him. God was like, hey, have you thought about Job? Because when you talking about chewing somebody up and spitting them out, my man has a lot of stuff. And Satan is like, yeah, I've thought about him, but you won't let me get him, or I would have done got him. God's like, go ahead then. And Satan's like, I bet you if I get him, I bet you he ain't gonna be on your team no more. And God was like, what you want to bet? It's like that movie Trading Places where they bet the dollar and took Eddie Murphy's life and switched it with. So God is like, I bet you he won't curse me. And Satan's like, I bet he will. And God is like, bet. And so he lets the devil go and kill all Job's kids, take all his cattle, all his land, all his everything, set it on fire. And then Job is still like, God, I know this wasn't you. I know you ain't set me up like this. So I'm going to still serve you. God like who? The devil come back over God's the next day with the angels. Angels are bringing the devil over God's. Look it up. And so God's like, Satan, what you been doing since yesterday? And the devil's like, same thing. Look at who I can chew up and spit the fuck out. And so God is like, my boy Job again. He's still, what I tell you. I told you he wasn't getting ready to turn his back on me. I got this man in the mind. It don't matter what happens to him. He ain't gonna do it. He gonna still believe in me because he's a dummy. And the devil's like, bet you if he's sick, okay, I killed his kids and everything, he might not even like them kids. But what about if I getting in his body? And so God is like, what you gonna do? He like, I'm gonna put sores all over him. I'm gonna make him in pain. He gonna be in chronic pain. His body gonna curl up on him, and God like, I bet. Do it, bruh. Do it, bruh. And I bet you when you come back, he ain't gonna turn his back on me. So Job was like, God couldn't be doing this. Job's friends, his wife, everybody was like, hey, God is doing you dirty, bruh. You don't need to follow him no more because they talking, they conspiring against you. Job is like, bitch, you crazy. And so he wasn't having it. And so he never did curse God. And God's like, you know what? Since I won the bet and you didn't turn your back on me, even though you didn't know it was me suggesting that the devil come and do this to you, double for your trouble. Who wouldn't serve a God like this? Huh? Sound right here, baby girl.
Double for your trouble.
She's hilarious.
Hold on, wait.
That is
Hold on, wait.
hilarious.
No, I don't want to talk about this. So God was having conversations with the devil. That's real messed up.
Well,
God was
What you been doing? He said,
Well-
traveling to and fro, seeking whom I can devour.
I'm just saying. And God was
But
like,
Satan
all right,
was
back, go ahead. I'm gonna put you.
He said, have you considered my son Job?
That's what they said in the Bible, y'all.
Have you considered? Well, listen.
That's real messed up. Don't y'all think that's messed up?
But he knew Job. God knew Job, and Job knew God. And
So
he
God
knew
was
that
like,
God,
listen, he killed his children, though, his children.
Yeah, but he gave him more
children were
kids.
allowed to die. He was able to have more kids.
Oh,
He gave him a young hot wife.
So if all your God takes away all your children now, you're gonna be like, it's all right though. I can have more. You know, but this ain't even good enough. I need some damn popcorn. That's unacceptable.
You know what's good to watch?
What? I don't know shit about the Bible.
Chosen. No, watch The Chosen. The Chosen.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? That was a movie?
The Chosen is series. It's a series about the Bible. but it
It's
puts a
real.
lot of things in perspective. It's really good. The Chosen.
Okay.
It doesn't talk
Yeah,
about how
like
God will take your children and be and make you
it
have
talks
swords
about
on
every. It talks about everything.
Is it on
It
Netflix?
talks about. It's on Netflix. Oh, well, it was on Netflix. Let's see.
Hmm.
They've changed a few different platforms. They had their own at one point, Angel Studios, and then it was on Netflix first, then Angel Studios. So I'm not sure where it's at now.
Okay. Okay,
But
cool.
yeah,
To
The
understand,
Chosen.
like that's my big, and you know, listen, it just hurts my heart. when
Uh-oh,
it-
what happened with D'Angelo? Donnell?
Type it up, baby. Type it quickly and fastly.
What
It hurts my heart to that this is that, so like that God is sometimes real mean. God is mean. No,
I don't see
D'Angelo.
He died?
Today. Yes.
That
No.
poor boy doesn't have any parents.
Wait, when? I don't see it. I don't see it.
They said of pancreatic cancer.
October 14th.
D'Angelo had cancer. Did we know this?
He probably just got it. You know, they don't, you know, pancreatic cancer, you last about 2 weeks on that.
Yes, you're so right. My best friend
No,
passed
not
from it. You're so
D'Angelo.
right.
I feel bad for the son.
I know, man. But
He
D'Angelo
doesn't have any parent. Oh, see.
I hope he made amends with his son because according to Angie, he wasn't really in his life.
Oh, y'all, this is unacceptable, y'all, and this is real messed up because you taking see, back to the whole Job situation because for some reason I feel like God is taking all the good people. You take D'Angelo, you take
Died
Andrew,
this
you
morning
take Malcolm Jamal Warner.
at the age of 51, y'all.
What is going on?
In New York. He died this morning in New York at the age of 51.
Wow. Wow.
Damn.
Well,
51.
Is that why he didn't perform at the Roots Festival?
Oh, he no, because he wasn't sick then.
That might have been why he didn't, because remember, he didn't end up showing up. He didn't end up performing. And that was what, 2 months ago?
Oh, this is unacceptable.
Damn.
I
was looking forward to his comeback.
I was hoping he would come back too.
I was looking forward to his comeback.
100%. I wanted him to. How does it feel?
Dang, she's about 10 years
That's
older
all
than
he
him.
had to perform.
That's
all
it.
he had to perform. That's
Damn. Yeah, I do feel sorry for his son.
100%. You have both your parents are gone, and at this
In
young
the same year. Remember
in the same year,
when she was lying to that boy, telling him he looked like his daddy? No, you remember that video? She was lying to him, telling him he looked like his daddy.
he does have his daddy's lips,
That's what she said.
and that's it.
I don't know, but yeah, man, that's terrible. 51 years old, have pancreatic cancer.
Y'all, okay, so yeah, life is short, right? My biggest thing, especially in this day and age, because I've personally experienced death recently, right? And what it does is it reminds you of how important life is, and it should remind you of how important life is. It should. Yeah. And don't get it twisted. I mean, everybody handles death differently, but what people really do need to do is like love up on themselves, love up on their life, love up on their family, love up on your friends, love up on the people who love you, and live every day like it's your last.
You know, here's the thing though, because it does. Death either does two things. It'll either push people away or it will bring them together. And what I've seen just from my professional spaces, I've seen where families are torn apart because affairs are not in order, because people are fighting over different things. And I would think, damn, mama gone. We really got to get our stuff together. We really got to, because life is short. But some people don't think like that. They get to, somebody stole mama's necklace and they ain't talking for 20 years. Somebody stole, mama didn't have her affairs in order. And that's why it's extremely important that, one of the things I told my mother-in-law when her husband died, I said, look, if you don't want your kids to hate each other, get this living trust. And
Get that living
It
trust,
didn't. It didn't. It didn't.
ConstanceCarter.com.
Listen, it didn't happen, and this is where we are today. So, it's vitally important that we have our affairs in order. For me, I remember I was changing my living trust. I have actually a court date next month, y'all. By the way, let me just give you this update. We can go. So, y'all. So I don't know if y'all remember, but there's a guy that's trying to take my home, and he changed the title in his name illegally. So yeah, so have you guys seen those videos where people are changing the titles and they're trying to take people's homes? So there's this guy named what's that man's name?
Stupid.
Yeah. So he's the same guy who fought Kevin Spacey and took his home or whatever. But this house that I bought, it was an HOA foreclosure. And he was able to buy it at the HOA sale for $8,600. They were behind $8,600. So he was able to buy it for $8,600. It's $1 million home, $8,600. So anyway, they overturned it, and I was able to buy it. But when they did the foreclosure, they gave him a deed. They gave him a warranty deed for that before it was overturned. So once I bought it, that deed is now invalid. So this guy, he knew that the deed was invalid. So he goes to Supreme Court of Maryland. They deny him. Denied. So what does he do after he goes to Supreme Court in Maryland in January? In March, he goes and records the deed. So now his name is on my house. My house is in somebody else's name as of March. So of course my attorneys are working on it. But what happened is now my house is no longer in a living trust. So should something happen to me, my kids are not protected because this motherfucker put his name on my house. And so anyway, we go to court in a couple weeks. And of course, I'm sure they're going to throw it out. I'm not worried about it. My attorneys have been working on it. He hasn't responded, but people are doing that. And so, I'm out here promoting, I got a living trust ebook and I have all this stuff, but my current home, this home right now is not even in the living trust because somebody illegally put their name in my house. And so should I get pancreatic cancer and die suddenly?
Okay, we're not wishing that on anybody. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, but I mean, my kids aren't even protected right now. And so I just got to wait for the process to happen. Once it happens in November, early November, then, I'll be good to go. But that is very important, extremely important. If you have property, definitely make sure that
what laws do you have as a homeowner then? You're not protected.
Well,
and
actually what he did
videos like this.
Yeah, what he did was absolutely illegal because it was an invalid deed. So he's liable. I've done a lot of stuff. People are so the powers that be are so inundated with so much that they just overlook this stuff. But he was, there was collusion. The HOA attorney, the title company, they were all in collusion by recording this invalid deed. They shouldn't have been able to do it, and they were. Thankfully, I got great attorneys. They're working on it. So it'll, my mom was like, you over there fixing up that house, and that man might be able to steal it from you. No, it's my house. I'll be fine. I still have a loan on it. So there's nothing that he could really do because his loan is invalid and my sale was valid, so.
The only concern that I do have though, and I need you to, never mind. You know what? I'm not going to say this out loud. I don't want to give you ideas. Never mind. We're going to talk about it after. Sorry.
But this, my attorney did say this motherfucker crazy. He was like, this dude is crazy. And because he said when he contacted him, he was like, oh, this man really think this is his house. And so he was like, you better watch your back, Constance, because I'm thinking, this dude is just, trying to play a game, but he's actually really thinking this is his house. So he's like, so protect yourself, make sure you turn the alarm, make sure. I said, oh, you know what? He might come walking, but he gonna leave limping or in a stretcher if he come up over here. But I think what he's trying to do is he was trying to surprise me and somehow, take ownership of my house and then do what they did and have all my shit out on a yard. And but because I'm in the business and because I was alerted. I was actually alerted via Zillow. Zillow said there was a change in your neighborhood. And I was like, oh, let me go look at the change for $8,600. Oh, it was my house. But yeah. So how will we, Jackie said, how will we prevent someone? So first of all, have your stuff in a living trust. Go to makemylivingtrust.com. I have a living trust book on there. But the other thing is put a title lock on your home. It doesn't necessarily lock your title, but what it does do is it'll alert you. I was alerted because of Zillow, but a title lock will alert you in the event that something happens. But you can go to Make My Living, not Rust, trust.com, makemylivingtrust.com, and you can create your own living trust. He passed away. That's fucked up. That was my man.
Wow.
And you know, it's
So
the
sorry.
crazy part is to see him when he was younger, and everybody and their mama was like, "Oh, D'Angelo."
I was in love.
Who? Why was
So
that
fine. So fine. That six pack. It was the six
Ooh,
pack.
honey. Ooh, that was a
The
pack.
six pack and the lips.
Them lips, baby.
And the lips.
Baby. Baby.
Les les bon temps roulé, cher.
To lose two parents in 1 year is crazy at 27 years old. So you guys send send prayers out. Yeah, and you know we don't get to experience his talent anymore. That sucks.
It does.
I'm telling you, the music industry is
Oh, you see what they did to
takes
Angie
the
Stone right
best.
before that. You see what they did to Angie Stone right before she died.
When they took her money.
She was trying to get her money back. Remember when we talked about it, and that guy from her camp was on? It was in the audience, and he was like, "Oh, y'all hitting on it because we said something fishy going on around here." He was like, "Yeah, y'all hitting." So crazy. Anyway, y'all, girl, we got to get up off here because they about to get on the other podcast.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. First of all,
thank you.
Alex is definitely will win. First of all, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Thank
So thank you for joining us. What the conversation? That was so fun.
Thank you, ladies. Have a wonderful day. You are both.
Wait, how can we
beautiful, and I
follow
love
you?
Following you.
Yeah, how can we follow you, Deborah?
No social medias. I know.
Who does that?
Right before the pandemic, I went on a fast and never came back.
Oh,
really?
YouTube, that's it. I know. My daughter said I'm gonna have to learn how to do everything all over again.
Really?
No social media.
Oh my God. Well, you know, listen, I love me some neo soul, and there is like one person that like is I really love. I love Jill Scott. I love Erica Badu. I love Layla Hathaway. But there's one performer that I think can trump all of them.
Love a man who call it good addiction. It turn me on when they run me like a ninja. Nothing make me wanna take a stand more than that, man. Every single moment just a heart. I'd rather be with you.
So hold on. Before we go,
Had to put the gates up and lock it.
Wait. Somebody said that sounds incredible. Who is that? Y'all didn't know who that was?
April is amazing. I gotta catch your show. Yes.
So, hey, where are you performing at next, April? Why are you
She
laughing?
didn't know that was gonna happen. She didn't know.
No,
You got her.
It was hilarious because she said she sounds incredible. What's her name? And I'm like, Latasha Jenkins. Her name is Latasha Jenkins.
That's April Champagne. April, where are you performing at next?
Wherever there is money. No, I'll be at the center stage with Miles Long. So we're doing a tribute to Malcolm on Sunday in Atlanta. And then and then and I'm doing
so by the way, Latoya, April used to sing with Malcolm Jamal Warner's band Miles Long until his untimely passing. So you're getting ready to perform with them when?
Sunday.
In
Atlanta, at center stage in Atlanta.
And then aren't you gonna be out here too?
I will be up there. I think those are both private shows, so I can't tell you. One of them we're doing with the Q's, and then the other one is a private birthday party.
Oh well, I tell you what, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna be out there like this, open. I follow April. I'm April's biggest groupie. I follow April wherever she goes. So,
Wait. You gonna be with the Q's? Okay, Constance, watch yourself.
I don't know. I'm not really a cute type of chick. I don't know. April, what you think?
Bye. That's all. That's what I think.